Amanda Mae with Ardith Design. Welcome back to my channel. This is Flosstube number 34, and I want to say welcome to all the new stitchers out there and those that are returning. Thank you for coming back to my channel where we talk all things counted cross stitch, sustainable stitching, and just have a fun time. So welcome. I cannot believe that it is mid-March 2019. Happy Pi Day to all of those celebrating on March 14th, which, by the way, that's when the giveaway is, the cutoff date is, which, you know, March 14th. So you go back to Flosstube 32 and 33 and comment to be entered into the giveaway. Oh, I am so happy to be here. Today I don't have any new pattern releases or anything to show you other than a bunch of Save the Stitches. So if you like the kind of old and crusty, rusty, kind of wonky, wabi-sabi, fun stitching stuff, this is the episode for you. I have a lot of Save the Stitches finds to show you. Pam of Pam and Steph Just Keep Stitching. She has the beautiful under the bed box where she has all of her stitching that she hasn't framed or fully finished. She has nicely put down under the bed box and stuff to finish. Well, I have in my laundry room box. That's in my laundry room box. That are those. It's like a bin that contains all of the pieces that I've acquired over the last like 6 years that I've gotten from barn sales, free bins outside of yard sales, stuff that was about to get thrown away that I said, no, I can clean that. Let me take it home. Stuff that was wet and I dried it. Anyway, I have my laundry room bin to show you. And no, it's not, you know, dirty underwear or anything weird like that. No, this is the historic needlework, a lot of stuff from the 1970s and above, like kit stuff and things that I just could not bear to get seen thrown away. So we're going to talk Save the Stitches. But before we do that, we'll just do like my mail call, show you a library book, show you a couple of the projects that I am about to start. A little refresher. Yeah, so mail call, I have a little teeny tiny bit of haul and Save the Stitches stuff. So let's get started. Should we start with mail call? I feel like, oh yes, we'll start with mail call. I was sick this last week. One of the things when you're a parent, you're not allowed to be sick by yourself, right? If you get sick, pretty much everyone else is going down with the ship. So in my kind of fevered haze, I was perusing eBay because, you know, I was making good choices. And I searched one of my favorite designers. I have one of my favorite designers is Barbara Anna, and I just love everything that she does. So I have a search on eBay for her, and oh my gosh, a piece came up, and it wasn't a kit, it wasn't a chart, it was, okay, so my mail call. You ready for this? My mail call, I saw it, I read the listing, and I immediately purchased it. I could not, there was no forethought that I didn't mull it over. I saw it and I bought it. Complete impulse. Look at what I got. I got the completed Barbara Anna, I hold my heart, I carry you in my heart. It's stitched on 40 count linen with one thread. And the stitcher was having like a D-stash, and I am just thrilled to have this. I had her pattern on my 2-stitch list, and I have been working so hard on my own original designs that I haven't stitched anybody else's designs. And Michelle Bindi Stitchy is stitching this, and I had Stitch Envy, okay? Stitch Envy. I'm so envious of stitchers that I literally made a t-shirt that said Stitch Envy. And I just love this so much, I had to have it. And my husband goes, well, Amanda, I thought the whole point of cross-stitching is the joy of stitching it and not just, he's like, you cheated. You bought a finished piece. You cheated. You took away the pleasure of stitching it yourself. And I was like, well, you know what? You're right. I totally cheated. I am a cross-stitch cheater. I am. I'm not going to lie. But I love her. I love Barbara Anna Designs. I wanted to have her in my life. She's not on my schedule to stitch this year because I'm working on stuff, because who wants to go to market in 2020? This lady does. I want to go to market. In order to make that happen, I have to stitch. Beth Twist, she was showing sneak peeks on her Instagram and stuff of stitching stuff that, you know, is coming out in 2020. I mean, you got to plan, you got to prepare. So while I love Barbara Anna, I needed this finished in my life, hanging on my wall. I don't know, maybe I'll put her in a little frame next to in my office so I can look at it, you know, as like inspiration. And I mean, it's so beautiful. The stitches are gorgeous. And look at the back. The stitcher, beautiful back. And I love it. It had to come home with me. So that was my mail call impulse fever buy, and I feel like I made a good choice. That's it for mail call, and I say that's it, like it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. I literally ran down, and my kid went with me to the mailbox to pick this up because I knew it was coming. I wanted to show you kind of an in the archive. I mentioned, or I showed you a couple weeks ago how I finished on one of the vintage cheese graters. Well, I have 3 of them. They were dug out of an old barn in Wisconsin. And so this is another design that I did last year. I had sent this design for concept stitch to Express Life Tifa, and she, oh my gosh, she color converted this. She finished it in an oval. Hers looks better than mine. So, anyway, but again, Stitch Envy. Here's my balancing bunny pattern. This is one of the first patterns that I ever designed, and I absolutely love it. So I have that hanging in my Easter display. I went to the library a couple weeks ago, and I got a quilt book to read. Not haul per se, because again, it's a library book, but this fabric designer put a bunch of patterns together, like these little mermaids. Oh my God, so cute. And starfish and all these like really cute things using her fabrics. But what I want to make, oh, I can't, are these little lemons. So those are on my to-do list, along with everything else. And then what am I working on right now? Okay, so Bindi Stitchy's birthday SAL was this last weekend. BS birthday SAL was her little hashtag. And I pulled out my Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew, and I pulled out fabric and I started kitting it up because I really do want to work on this. And this is 32 count linen, dyed by Kitten Stitcher Teresa Vanette. It's her 32 count cauldron. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So that is what I have decided to do for the ship. What I like about it, it's got kind of that rusty look, thinking of the old rusty ship. I am so nervous to start this though, and the pattern has DMC and anchor threads, but I feel like I need to actually go down with my fabric and match the colors because I don't know if they're gonna work out. I have never done a piece this big before. Again, I'm a new stitcher, enthusiastic stitcher, but nevertheless I am a new stitcher. So I I matched the fabric at least, and then my Pernin of Copenhagen, with the little badger, I really want to start this, but look, this is how far I've gotten. All I've done is oogle it. I've only had oogle google eyes on this, so I really want to start that. So those are my couple things that I can show you. Again, I'm really thinking forward about my sustainable stitches and getting my laundry room bin, all that stuff cleaned and sorted, and then also working on my new designs to release and thinking ahead. And with that, part of my haul is I went to the quilt store, my local quilt shop, this week because I was very inspired by the Nashville Needlework Market. They had a thread vendor there called Sulky, and I watched with, just laser focused, watched Julie of Gulf Coast Stitches do her live feed with her daughter and showing the threads, and they were joking, like after about 30 minutes they went, oh my gosh, this is a great infomercial for Sulky. And I'm sitting there going, yes, Julie, you did a fantastic job, and now I need this thread in my life. So I went to her website, I started like looking around trying to figure it, and then I went, maybe I need to check out my local quilt shop to see if they carry the 12 weight cotton for cross stitch. Oh my gosh, so it had been in my mind since the Nashville video, but then I get sick and the fever and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I made it there, right? I am so excited. I get in the quilt shop, which by the way is like, I start salivating, right? Eye candy, everything is gorgeous and you just want all the things. But I contained myself. I took one of my kids inside. The other one was safe, but only one we went in, and I was looking for the 12 weight cotton for cross stitch. Well, they don't carry Sulky, but they carry a lot of other stuff. And it fell into my cart. So I played this fun game of what's my weight, meaning what's my cotton weight, or what can I stitch with this weight? I got the Valdani, and it says it's 12 weight. Is that correct weight for cross stitch? I don't know. I have not tried it yet. I know that a lot of stitchers punch needle use the Valdani threads for their punch needle. I know the owner of Primitive Homespuns in Frederick on Shab Row, she has her patterns kitted in Valdani threads. So I don't know if this is the 12 weight, if that's what it is. I don't know. Again, guess my weight. I was overjoyed to find some thread. I know about this floss. I know what to do with this. I got avocado and this really beautiful brown. You guys know, guys, gals, stitching friends know that I have been on the quest for my browns. DMC with the taunting, what brown is your favorite? Then I got this, and it is Pearl 12. Again, what's your weight? Pearl 12. Now this is significantly thinner than Valdani 12. And then thread that I have never heard of before, again, Silly American, and it's Finca, F-I-N-C-A, Finca, number 16 weight cotton. And again, went on Pinterest, looking everywhere, number 16 cotton for stitching. And there were 2 articles, 2, on hand quilting with this, number 16. But all the other resources defaulted to number 8 cotton, which looks way larger. So now I'm on the what's my weight quest. I need to just order some Sulky, do some comparison, but in the meantime, I have really pretty things to play with, and I'm really excited they were tucked away like in the back in the drawers of the quilt shop. Oh my gosh. So me on this quest for the weight 12 weight cotton. New stitchers, silly, right? Oh, all right. Also part of my haul from, what, 2 weeks ago? I got another punch. Now I need to get a bigger punch to actually use for my thread drops, but I use the kitten stitcher idea of taking the soda pop boxes from your 12 count a pop and doing the punch for thread drops. And I thought it looks pretty cool. It's their new flavor, their orange vanilla flavor Coke. I don't know. I didn't drink it. It's got aspartame in it, so that's a no for me. But I did my little sustainable, started to work on some little drops. I mean, some of it is just black heart. But I like, doesn't it look abstract enough? I can make this work. Again, I need to get the big enough punch hoop to the punch circle so that I can put my thread on, my floss on, my thread on. Linda Jo, Pretty Southern, her last Flosstube video, she went off on a tangent of why she doesn't like to say floss because it has the negative connotation, not negative connotation, but it makes her think about flossing her teeth, which is awesome. You need to floss your teeth, floss every day, people. Whew, okay, but about flossing her teeth and that she doesn't like to refer to it as that. She likes to call it thread. And then I started thinking, like, yeah, why do we say floss? So I don't know. I have no problem saying it, but I might start using it more interchangeably, thread and floss. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. All right. Last week I had mentioned that I had some acquisitions from the thrift store, and I want to show you those right now. And I will say this, these are boxes, but I was really inspired by Jennifer Upton Stitches. She makes the really cool button, scissor fob stuff. I really liked it. I like to watch her videos. I feel like I'm like sitting in her kitchen with her and she's like showing me all of her goodies. So I watched Jen and she was doing a bunch of box finishes a couple months ago. I'm like, yes, I love that. Well, I had gone to a thrift store and they had this box right by the door and I literally tripped over the box because it was all like wonky at the door. And I asked them about it. Hey, how much for those box of boxes? And they went, oh my gosh, we can't get rid of them. Nobody wants to buy them. We're going to go throw them away. Y'all know my feelings on throwing things away. So I said, okay, well, can I, you know, can I make a donation? No, you take one box for free. Okay, I'll take one box. So I go to pull out a box and they said, no, like the whole box, the one whole box of boxes for free. Don't mind if I do. So I ended up making a donation to the thrift store. Again, don't take advantage of people. If they offer, still make a donation. With that being said, I have some boxes to do some finishing. As I throw it around, I got this jewelry box. It's got like a cloth already, and it's got the foam. And again, it is a jewelry box, but I'm thinking, what can I put some accessories in there, some thread stuff, like use it as like a little sewing box, and put one of my finished pieces on it, or one of my Save the Stitches pieces on it. The fabric here has been, it's like a satin, and this all needs to be replaced. So we'll see about that. This box is so ugly. I feel I gotta make this pretty. Look at this box. That purse. I like the shape of it though. I thought it was really neat. They decorated it with purple velveteen and sequins, you know, all the fun things. But I just thought this shape was really neat. So I'll have to figure out a finish for that. I got one of the, what was it? It was a coffee mug. So it was one of the gift box coffee mug things. Hello, round finish. You can do a round finish. I had bought, inspired by Beth Twist, and her video tutorial of using the wooden boxes for the finish. Now I have a cardboard. I gotta learn all these things, all the new things. And then these two are my favorite. I was so excited to get this one. This was just a basic big box store box, you know, under $10 when it was new. Jewelry box. I could vacuum out the inside or take this out completely. But look, it lends itself perfectly to be distressed. Maybe do the Teresa Kogut paint method or the Priscilla and Chelsea chalkboard method. I know Java Girl Stitches, she's been doing some beautiful finishing along with Yankee Creek. Y'all do wonderful finishing. I'm over here excited to like wash these pieces and just make sure they're clean. Anyway, I got this box, and then this one. This was my favorite box. I don't know what I want to put on this one, but I feel like I need to, you know, think about, you know, Nashville 2020 here. Look at that box. They had, this was the price tag they had on it, and nobody would buy it, so they were gonna throw it away. Again, they have to make room for new stock coming in. And I think that it didn't sell because the inside has the lint. It needs to be vacuumed out. Make a donation. Be a good person. You know, don't take advantage. Yeah. All right. I have two more fun Save the Stitches to show you. These I got this week. Okay, this little one, it's a little deer and like a weird little child sitting, I don't know where his other leg is, and one of those cute little romper things. But I want to pull this out, clean it, and make it into a little ornament for my Easter tree. That's my plan there. And then, hold on to your hat, friends. Hold on to your hats. I have to say, this is the most interesting cross-stitch finish that I have ever encountered. I laughed so hard, and this went into my cart so quickly it would make your head spin. I snort laughed as I purchased it. And no offense to anyone, but the eyes follow you. Try to look, the eyes, no matter where you go, they follow you. They're one episode of, oh yeah, you pay extra for that, for the eyes following you. Anyway, this is a fantastic example of a Save the Stitches cross-stitch piece of just wow. There really are no words. Somebody custom made the mat by adding 3-dimensional bones and paw charms glued on where you can still see the glue. They put it in the frame, wrinkled. The dog is wrinkled in the frame. This is on light blue Aida fabric. The white little dog. All I can see now is like Linda Jo's dog looking out the window. You know, every time she starts filming, her puppy like goes and like looks out the window. I feel like this dog is doing that, just looking out. Okay, so I thought I had these grand plans this week of pulling this out of the frame, cleaning it, pressing it, and presenting it and doing the before and after. Well, that didn't happen. So here's my before. So stay tuned for an after. This was also glued down to the mat. I tried to take the frame out and look at how they did it, and they glued it on both sides. So this piece is a hot mess, but I vow to make this piece pretty again. The stitching is nice. It's just the presentation. Wow. So let's bring this little pup back to life. I also have, like I said before, a bunch of stuff from my laundry bin I want to show you. And they are in various states of disrepair. I'm pulling away stuff to show you. Okay. Again, these have not been cleaned. Here we go. I have this piece. I think this is one of the first ones I ever got. Hours fly, flowers die, new days, new ways pass by, but love stays. I want to say this was a kit from like the 40s or 50s. The next piece is embroidery, and look at that lamp. What I loved about this piece, this is called a dresser scarf. There are a lot of craftivists right now and a lot of artists that are taking the center of the scarves and they're doing custom embroidery and custom artwork in the center of these dresser scarves to make them relevant in the 21st century. I'm just focused on making sure right now that they're not thrown away and that they're clean. I'm not doing any custom embroidery stuff. But I wanted to show you this. Look at the tatting. This is called tatting. I have a friend who does tatting, and she's got the shuttles and the tatting. And the weight of this cotton, hello, you know, guess your weight. I want to say this Valdani thread looks like the same weight as this tatting. But I don't know. Then there's crochet weight and small stuff that's beyond my skill level. But I know tatting when I see it. And so look at that beautiful tatting. I mean, hours and hours and hours of tatting. These Save the Stitches, I just appreciate all of these good things. I'm at a point in my life as a maximalist, again, I'm not a minimalist, I am a maximalist, that I have to save them and I have to bring them back to life. Here is another dresser scarf on linen, and this is embroidered. This again looks like one of those kits. No tatting, but a nice edging with some cut work. I want to clean this and have it out for spring. It's a little table dresser top, tabletop thing. And again, looks like something from a kit. And little pansies, purple pansies on both sides with the big cross stitches. I want to say, like, at what point is it called chicken scratch? Is it only called chicken scratch embroidery if it's on gingham, or can you call it that if it's on linen? So much to learn. Okay, the next several pieces are quite dirty. They are hot messes, and I think I've told you all before that I do not clean wool. I am not equipped, and I also have a wool allergy. I'm very sensitive to wool. So the one time I tried doing the needle felting, it was in college. Oh my gosh, this is really bad. Okay, I had a friend who was making all the really beautiful needle felting animals, and I had felt envy, and I needed to learn how to needle felt because hashtag make all the things. With my sensitivity to wool, I was like, oh, just put on the gloves and I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So we're working away. She's showing me, and it's wool felting. You had these needles. There's like 6 needles, and you like stab it basically repeatedly. So I had my gloves on, those like ridiculous dish gloves that went to your elbows, and I'm doing it, and I just thought I was the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, that I knew that I could, get around the system, as it were. Oh no, 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 no. One single fiber thread of wool, one single fiber got into my eye. Oh yeah, you know that I wear glasses, right? So when I took off my glasses to see what was going on, my eye started swelling up, and then I couldn't see, and then I'm like trying to get in the mirror to pull out the one single fiber. After I've taken off my gloves, I can't see anything. I mean, I'm surprised I got makeup on properly right now. Anyway, my whole eye swelled up. Then my friend had to do the rinse, and then she had to, with her fingers, which, by the way, she didn't wash her hands because I was in a panic. She was in a panic. Yeah, so her wool fingers, and then Never again have I wool felted. I have a collection though of crowl embroidery and wool embroidered stuff that I have not cleaned, and I need to clean them. Anyway, I digress. Here we go. This looks like a kit from the 1970s. It still has the tape and it's like crusty. Pull this out and wash it. The thready, it looks like it is wool yarn. Set this down. I have, this is a really cool pillow, and I will show you the back of it first. Somebody cut this out, and it's got the maker in the back of it. The fabric, it looks like this might have been rug hooking. It was in an old, as you can see, feather pillow. But look at this. It's on black velvet. Isn't that the most adorable dog? Isn't that so awesome with his little button eye? He was cut out of a pillow. This, I remember, this was gonna get thrown away. And I said, no, that little puppy dog needs to come home with me. I, again, need to figure out how to clean him. And then the next 3 pieces I got out of a barn sale. And in the United States, we have legitimate barns, the big barns. And a lot of people who are no longer farming, they lease or rent their farm, the land out. In this area, there's a lot of the religious, the Mennonite families that lease the land and farm, and the Amish families. But there's also, they lease the land to the big conglomerate farming people, not the small farmers, but the big boys, as it were. And then, but the outbuildings are not part of the lease, and they'll lease the buildings out to other people. And so a lot of antique people and random, like, yard sale, basically it's like a huge space, right, that you rent, and it just happens to be a barn, and people have sales. And so, you know, the people come up from Virginia, and they do the whole, like, go up Central Maryland, up into Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Gettysburg. They'll do, like, the whole thing. So you can stop at a barn sale. Well, most of these barns that have been leased out to antique people are not air conditioned. They're exposed to the elements because, again, it's a barn. So things like needlework, needlepoint, embroidery, hand embroidery, linens, the old quilts, the fabrics, they're exposed to the elements. And here in Maryland, it can get really humid. DC is an hour from me, and DC, the District of Columbia, was once a swamp. So we're basically in, like, swampland, right? So what do we know about fabric? High heat, moisture, not good for fabrics. I know they, one of the needlework reproduction artists and designers from Nashville was discussing how she had designed a theoretical Georgia sampler for the Guild in Georgia, and she modeled it after a bunch of different samplers and put it all together. And she was distressed that she could not find a historic sampler from Georgia from, you know, the 1820s, 30s, you know, in the 19th century, and mostly due to the fact that it is so humid in Georgia that the fibers literally would have disintegrated over the years. Well, fast forward to now, Maryland is not as humid as Georgia, nor would I ever like try to compare. I lived in Georgia at one time. Going from California to Georgia, I had an internship in Savannah. And I didn't know when they said, oh, it's going to be 80 degrees. And again, in America, we do Fahrenheit, not Celsius. I don't know the conversion, but, oh, it's going to be 80 degrees. I wore long pants and a long shirt thinking, oh, I'll be in an office building and air conditioning, right? Oh no, I didn't realize the heat index, 121 degrees, okay? I coming from California, I didn't know what a heat index was. I regretted my choices. Okay, these pieces, I got it, barn sales. Exposed to the weather. I needed to rescue them. Here is a needle point from a kit of a little lion. Look at that little cutie. The next piece is a deer. Oh dear. It looks like it was cut out of a larger piece of a kit. It looks like somebody literally cut into the circle part of this. I would love some feedback on what I should do with this. I feel like I should add it to a quilt if I can get this clean. But if you also look at it, I mean, I got the coffee tea staining down here just with barn aging. The next one is a crowl embroidery piece. It's got the old tape on it, and it looks like it's chain stitched embroidery, and it's got the kind of paisley pattern. The next piece I have is embroidery, also probably a kit with the long stitching, and it looks like this is done in DMC and not in wool, so I'm excited to be able to get this cleaned up. It was folded over the years. It looks like it might have been framed at one time. And yeah, so here is that piece. And then the last piece I got at a barn sale is of a barn. This was pulled off of its canvas, and I just love it. It looks very folk arty to me, and I just really appreciate it. It's got the sleigh for winter. It's really rough. It's really, really rough. There is a hole right here in the center of the design. So I don't know, you know, do you repair this? I don't know. I've considered getting a hold of the curating department. The George Washington University has the textile museum. They have drop-in hours once a month, and I've really considered, I know Virginia Stitchers, I thought about reaching out to them and asking, because I don't want to do a disservice to these pieces. I mean, being all egotistical, I can be like, oh, well, you saved them, that's good enough. But really, I mean, how do I save these pieces? I mean, look at this little turkey. And you could just say, well, Amanda, you know, it's just a kid. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, it's just from Avon. Well, no, I mean, someone spent a lot of time on this. Look at those little turkeys. Kitschy 1970s Avon kits are worth saving too. Don't diminish the importance and relevancy of your handwork. Your legacy matters, and it's worth treasuring and preserving and having it for the future. And I appreciate, shout out to Lindy Stitches, and also I believe Kathy Barrick released the little square things where you can write down the information about your needlework to put on the back of your pieces, and I say that is awesome, and let's continue and write this stuff down so we know where these pieces came from, appreciate them, and looking forward. I'm really happy that you came and joined me this week. I hope that you have a fantastic Pi Day, St. Patrick's Day if you celebrate that. I married into a Scottish family, so I'm not wearing green right now, but when I was a bartender, I wore a lot of green. I hope that you have a beautiful stitching week, and I look forward next week. We'll do the giveaway winner and all that good stuff. Again, I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, and follow me. I'm on Instagram, and oh, I do have shop news. Okay, I launched my new website. I launched my new website. It is ardithdesign.com. I officially, in my 30s, officially have a .com. It's the little things in life. Thank you for joining me. You're a treasure and a gem, and your work is important. Have a great stitching week.